Take a picture who's here. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So we just started. Hopefully more people will come, but at this stage. So we have Davor and Leo and Nacho and Stephanie. Everyone know each other?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Everyone know each other. Leo, do you know everyone?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So,
Leo from Korea, Stephanie from Colombia, Davor
Yes.
from Croatia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nacho also Colombia.
no, I'm from Chile.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Sorry. All right. Anyway, hopefully more people will come. Dean is asking password, so I just put that password down.
Yes, but I did it.
Yeah, we put down the password, but she's not actually read it. 597716. 597716. Okay, hopefully. I don't know, maybe it's an internet issue. Who knows? Strange. Okay, well, we're recording now, so I might as well keep going. So this is our third week on ESP, English for Specific Purposes. Hello, Melina. Okay.
Hello, guys. Hey.
Got more people
Hello.
now. That's good. Oh, hey, we got Peter as well. Hello, Peter. That's good.
Hello,
Yeah.
Donna.
I don't know what happened. Must be internet. I'm not really sure. It should just be the same link. Just every week the same link. I don't know. Must be internet problems.
Yeah.
It happened last week.
Okay, we're just going through a review from last week. So ESP covers an enormous range of content in such areas such as, so what can we do ESP within? What, if you go to university, you want to be a doctor, you will do ESP for,
EAP.
yeah, this one's for ESP.
ESP?
I'm trying to get my whiteboard. Where's my whiteboard?
For medical, then it will
Yeah,
be
you
for
could do medical, yes.
For medical, for engineering as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, you could do medical, you could do engineering.
That would.
Yep. So we talked about this just before when we decided to start again. So you could do legal. Okay, if you want to become a waitress or manage a restaurant, what kind of ESP would you do?
Yeah.
Hospitality.
Yeah, hospitality, yep. Or you could say tourism as well. And if you want to become a director of a big company, what kind of ESP would you do?
Business,
Yeah, you
maybe.
could do business,
Managing.
yes. And if you want to work in advertising?
Marketing.
Yeah, marketing, yeah. And if you want to be something to do with IT, I guess there's computer science, ESP. Yeah, or maybe there's just ICT, ESP. I don't know. I think there's more evolving all the time.
IT as well.
Yeah, what's that? IT, ESP. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, and this one's just saying it's not an approach, it's teaching specifically for the needs of the learner. So consequently, what do we need to do? What kind of questionnaire do we need to give our students to help us teach ESP for that particular industry? Davor knows.
What kind of industry do you want?
Oh no, any like
Are
what
you
do
interested in?
yeah, when the students come to class on the first day, what should you give them? What kind of questionnaire? Can you read?
Yeah, the needs analysis.
Yeah, that's right. We
questionnaire.
just repeated from before. That's right. So it's saying that needs analysis questionnaire is really important. See, and I can circle that too. Oh, no, I actually even got the answers here. But this is needs analysis. The needs analysis. I'm just waiting for more people to come, and hopefully they will. Okay, next slide. So easier or harder? I'm trying to make it more interactive, so I've asked you questions. In theory, it is easier or harder to predict learners' specific language needs at the ESP end of the continuum. So when they first come in, they'll be all different levels. And then as they go more, if they're doing medical, then they might go nursing, then they might go anesthetic nurse. So as time goes on, you know they want a more specified English. So you think it'll be easier or harder? When they first come in, they're all different levels. So towards the end, when you're doing very specific ESP, which one easier or harder to predict?
Obviously harder, right?
Alicia.
I think
Yeah,
this
harder
are
at the
harder
start.
At
to
the
predict how
end.
they are.
Yeah.
More
It's
complex.
Yeah,
Going to be
when
more
they
deep.
first come in, they might be all different levels, depending, because they might just say you only need IELTS level 5, but some people level 6, some people 6.5. Could be all over the place. But as they get more refined, they should be all about the same level. Yeah, it's a trick question. Sorry, Devil. So this is
Yeah.
a continuum. So you start off with general English, and then you'll do business maybe, and then you could do the travel one, then you go on to airlines. So by here, everyone's pretty much the same level, is what we presume. But here, there might be different levels. So probably most universities will have this one. Maybe they'll have that one. But these ones, it really depends on the university. Probably not. If a lot of people enrolled and say, I really want to manage my own hotel, they might make that particular course. That's all that's about. So more or less is a question. So the proficiency levels of learners may set limits on the level of specificity of a course. At lower levels, more or less attention will probably be given to proficiency in general English. So you're going down, so this area here, so if you're doing this one, does this have more English? The grammar, conjunctions, verbs, nouns, or does this have more English?
More general have more
I
English.
think so.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
More grammar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe the other one is going to have more vocabulary and
Yeah.
in context or something like that.
Yeah, vocabulary and application more than grammar. And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just telling people I'll send a recording because some people still can't get in, so I'll just send them the recording. Yep, so you're right. So basically we have more, at the lower end, we have more English. Good job, everyone. Got that right. This is our homework, which most people sent to me. Double, I just wrote a summary. I know you sent me more, but just, did you do Dudley Evans from memory?
But I had a different guy. You gave me Robert Less.
Ah, Robert Lees. Okay, I've got him too.
Lees, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So can you tell us a bit about Robert Lees?
Yeah,
Does this look familiar?
so
So he wrote these books?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, much. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But this isn't mine. This is Molina's.
yeah, I know. Melina didn't do. So we're just talking about various linguists carrying on from last week. So this person has written these books about phonology of modern standard Turkish, intermediate English grammar book, and grammar for English normalizations. Yeah.
It doesn't say much on the internet about this guy.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm not that good.
No, that's okay. I don't know. I think Dudley Evans you couldn't find, so we changed, but that's that guy. Yeah, he writes a lot of books on ESP. Leo, did you do Luke Harding? From memory, yes? I've got you down as yes.
I sent a file in your WhatsApp.
Yeah, so this is a summary of it. You can just tell me something about him, Luke Harding. So let's see, what have we got? He's from England? Yeah. You can just read it or say from what you found out about.
Hang on. So Luke Harding, born in 1977, is an Australian linguist. He is currently a professor at the Department of Linguistics and English Language of Lancaster University, United Kingdom. His research focuses on language assessment with a special focus on listening assessment, pronunciation assessment, and diagnostic language assessment. Is the current editor in chief of the journal. In a journal article published in 2012 in Language Testing, Harding investigated the potential for a shared level first language advantage on an academic English listening test featuring speakers with second language accents.
Yeah, so basically he's famous for helping students to lessen their accents and making language assessment tools. And he publishes in this language assessment quarterly newsletter, and that's an example of his book. Yeah, good. Thanks, Leo. Luke Harding. Okay. And then Kate, are you here, Kate? Kate's just doing certificate now only. Well, she's doing certificate and diploma. So Kate's one was Kenneth Stevens. And that's an example of his book. I'll send it to you and you guys can check. He does acoustic phonetics, written books about that. And Michael Halliday. That was Nacho. Nacho, you're here.
Yeah,
Can you read
yeah.
yours? Read this one about Michael Halliday.
So in the study in the child language development, he talked about many resources that the child use for express their emotions, request information, etc. And he enumerated his claim about the trajectory of the child. Yeah, that's what he said. Development how he sketches the metaphor of acquisition in the which language is considered a static product, which is a child takes or efficient exposure to natural language enable parameter setting. This is not what this is like a resume of what I write now.
No, well, yeah, I just summarized it here. I can send on WhatsApp what you put. Just Michael Halliday, he believes the same as Noam Chomsky in that it's an innate ability for us to pick up languages. And he's written books about child language development as well as this functional grammar book. Michael Halliday. Yeah, good.
Yeah, he's very influenced in that.
Yeah.
Languages.
Yep. Yeah, good. And Stephanie, you've got Penny I've just done a summary of what you've written. You can read that.
Oh, don't worry. She was a very interesting, like while I was learning everything about her, it was for me like it was something very nice because she has studied in 2 masters. First one she studied when she is from UK, and she studied at the University of Oxford, Master of Arts. And then she did another master, but it was more like a postgraduate certificate in education in Cambridge. And later she made another master in the University of Reading in England. And after she moved to Israel, and she has been living there for a long time. She started living there from 1967, and her teacher trajectory is amazing because she hasn't just done it in schools. I mean, in primary, middle, and high schools. She has also been teaching in universities. And while I was watching one of her videos, something that I would like to highlight about her is that she's interested in different aspects of language teaching methodologies, like grammar and vocabulary. But one of the main ideas that she has in mind is that she wants to share her knowledge with people like us. I mean, with beginners and with teachers that they are just starting the path for teaching English. And also, she also mentioned one time that her books are also interested for mature teachers because from her books they can get new ideas. And for her is like the idea is that every teacher takes their own decisions according to evidence that we can find from papers, I mean from research, but also using their own situations. That is, she's trying to tell us that becoming a good teacher is not just something that is static, it's something that is more dynamic as the way that we speak. So that's why that I wanted to tell you about that.
Yeah, I think I've got a book by her. I've got this book here.
From her book, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good. Okay, so she's written lots of books. There's a 5-minute one, which is a good one to have. I can put it on WhatsApp. You can download it on Scribe. So little hints on what to do if you've only got 5 minutes, just to do the warm-ups or warm-downs with your students. Yeah, so she likes the dynamic
Actually,
classroom.
she has, while I was watching her video, I realized that she has been working more than 40 years.
All right, okay. Yeah.
Like I found the 30 years also in Cambridge,
Yeah.
because she has been an editor at Cambridge, handbooks for language teachers. But that video that I have been telling you, that was I think that recorded in 2012.
Okay.
So it's more than 40 already. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And
It
she's
was
still
amazing
going.
listening to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll put the video on WhatsApp so we can have a look at it. Good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So this book as well, I've got English Language Teaching. I think this is a predecessor. And How to Teach English, another one. Daniela, your name's got 2 L's, hasn't it? I think I put 1 L, wasn't sure. I think Daniela's got 2 L's.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So you've got Jeremy Harmer, is that right? You can read
Yeah,
that. He does the
that's
task-based
right.
language teaching. Yeah. Maybe you could read that for us.
Yeah, so Jeremy Harmer, task-based language teaching, also known as task-based instruction, focuses on the use of authentic language and on asking students to do meaningful tasks using the target language. Such tasks can include visiting a doctor, conducting an interview, or calling customer service for help. Assessment is primarily based on task outcome. In other words, the appropriate completion of real-world tasks, rather than accuracy of prescribed language forms. This means TBLT is especially popular for developing target language fluency and student confidence. As such, TBLT can be considered a branch of communicative language teaching.
Good job. Yeah, so I've got his book here too. So he's done more than just the TBL. He's written lots of books, but he advocates for the TBL task-based style of teaching. It's got a DVD as well with ideas on how to use the task-based style teaching in your classroom. Yeah, good, Daniela. Anyone got any questions? No?
So Donna, what's a communicative language teaching? Is this same as a task-based?
It's a task-based. So you get given a task, like you want to buy something, go to a supermarket, you're looking for it, you can't find it. So the task is, how do you ask someone? But communicative, it's real life situations. Jeremy Harmer. Well, he writes How to Teach English, but he promotes that style of teaching more so than just descriptive grammar, where you teach the grammar only, or the old-fashioned style. Like I say, like the modern way of teaching is to give them tasks, because that's more resembling real life situations where you've got a problem, you've got to solve it. So you'll ask your students, you know.
Find it similar to the small books you read in a flight.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can say.
So you give them a task and you have them work around it. So to interview people and find out where they want to go for a survey, for an excursion coming up, or work out what they did on the weekend, what was the most popular pastime. Yeah, because you're using whatever interests they have and you're asking the students in the classroom, and then you assess them in the end, can they do that task? So you practice English that is contextualized to how they live, what needs they have. So if they're all Chinese housewives and they're getting a bit older and going to the doctors is important, you do task-based learning around going to the doctors. Seeing if they can explain 3 symptoms they have, and you'd work out what learning outcomes you want around that task. Yeah. So it's not just grammar. The grammar comes into it, but as it comes up in conversation. Yeah. So that's communicative language teaching. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, so Melina ended up being double, which we've already done. And Chomsky, that's a good video to watch if you want to know more about Chomsky. Zoe told us about Chomsky last week. So he's the guy who believes that it's innate in us to want to learn a language, and that all languages basically are made up the same way. You know, no matter which language you speak, they all have similarities across the board. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, today we're doing about authentic materials. Anyone know what authentic means?
Real life.
Yeah, real life, that's right, yes. So if you're teaching business, then you get, say, a BAS statement, a tax receipt or something, and show them that. If you're teaching tourism, you'd get a boarding pass and use that. Yeah. We're just talking a little bit here about online because we're doing online teaching now. So, so educators need to think about these things when you're using authentic materials online. So computer skills, and the people doing it, practitioners, are advised to be aware of the language level and technical issues. So authentic materials online would mean finding materials online that are not part of your textbook. So you can download like this here, you know, this here textbook. We can use just the published DVD only to teach, but if you're finding other materials, other websites as well. So we need reliable, fast internet. I don't know if you guys have, they say 4 MPBs with a ping of less than 100 milliseconds. Is what they define as fast internet. And a good platform. So we use TOS as well as Zoom to deliver from. Zoom for the actual lesson. Anyone know any other platforms to deliver from?
Discord, maybe?
I don't know. In Unibit, they use, yeah, there's Google Classrooms. Yeah.
Canvas.
Yeah, Canvas is what they use for the other classes at Unibit. So hospitality and business they use, but Google Classrooms, yes. Yeah.
And how about Blackboard? I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's collaborative Blackboard as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Takes a long time to write this way. Maybe I should put the text in.
Yeah. That's why I was tapping that day. And actually, I don't know how you're doing it.
Oh, I'm just using my pen, but I don't know if I can actually, I can put in, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay, so we have Blackboard as well. Yeah, with this one here, it doesn't seem I can put a pen in here, unless I do the whiteboard. But anyway, these are all platforms in which to teach from. So there's Blackboard, Google Classroom, Canvas. Next one. And you need trained staff to help you. Yes. Okay, let's see. So if you did a business or computer science course, these websites. So this is example of business computer science ESP websites for language learning. So this is taken from a university. So if you're looking at this one, they'd have it all here. So this is made within the university. So you can do authentic online material that you've made yourself. So you have Unit 1, Unit 2, all online. And there's, within the university, yes, you make your own, but you can also use platforms like, well, not platforms, but sites you can go to practice your business English. The teachers would recommend you go there. And there's lots of books you can download. They're all ESP related books for business or communication. Yeah. And there's handbooks you can get as well. And there's other sites that help you. So if you're doing a science degree and you wanted help with English, maybe before you get into the science, there's English for Science. And then you have websites such as this, which would help you. How to write scientific journals or reports. Designing science presentations, you can go here and learn about that. So the teacher would recommend use these sites. So this is also authentic material because you found it. More learning resources for computer science students. Yeah, I'm just going to go through quickly because we're not doing computer science. There are just other sites you can go to if you were doing computer science ESP. Too much information. Okay, now if you want to find the actual pamphlet or brochure, so if you're doing legal, for example, English for specific purposes, law or legal, you could go to these places. Should be capital C, oopsie. Or if you're doing engineering, you can go to these places. There you go, those places. You can ask, I'm teaching English for engineering. Do you have anything you can give me to help my students? They might give you the latest rules and regulations, what standards they need to adhere to for various things. Yeah, so people are still trying to get into WhatsApp. I don't understand. Into Zoom, I mean. And medical, there's places you can, these associations you can get materials from as well. And if you're making your own software, you use these sites. If you're making your own ESP materials. Okay, so that's all materials that you can get yourself, but then some teachers or director of studies people will opt for just using textbook only. And if you're doing it online, yes, you'd use, like, for example, a DVD in the back of the book. So anyone got any opinion about whether we should use textbook only or authentic materials or both?
I think both.
Yeah, I think both too. Make it relevant by using authentic materials. So if you're teaching law, for example, go back to those sites that I showed you. That's for Australia. Oh, this one's for Victoria. That should be of, by the way. Yeah, yeah. As well as using the textbook. So if you had English for specific purposes, legal, then you use that as well. Yep. Yeah. Any disadvantages you can think of in using a textbook though? If a teacher just every day uses textbook only, does it inspire creativity?
Yeah, it's only one where, how can I say it, straightforward, only one way of thinking.
Yeah, that's right.
One opinion, let's say one opinion, maybe.
Yeah.
It's also plain, it's not situational.
Yeah, it might be a book written in England, so talking about English legal or medical or engineering. Yeah, that could be a problem as well. If you have students with special needs that've got dyslexia and they want the big fine print, you know, if the book is not got graphics and pictures, it's very deep, thick text, might not suit. And if you can't adapt it, you can't go up, down with a level, it might not suit. It might be out of date, you know, especially teaching IT. A textbook might only be valid for a year or two. So advantages of using a course book, as you can see, well, this is predictable. So if you did the course book, this course book, and 3 years later, the same course book, you know, you're having the same material. The student will be covering the same material. And they're designed so you can teach in such a way that usually it starts off with the introducing, warming up, and then a bit of the speaking, listening, reading, followed by breaking down the grammar, and then a task at the end, a writing piece of work. And they can, you know, you have first edition, second edition, for example, like this one here, this is the 5th edition, number 5. So it can be good, like what you said, but not only, just having coursebook only is not good. Okay, so dynamic means authentic material, and stative just means the textbook. So this is a little table telling us that authenticity and rationale, learner's needs, and the rationale of based on the questionnaire and the guidance, teacher's opinion. Pedagogical, meaning the way we teach, and psychological, meaning a student's feelings, all need to be taken into account when making the materials for a course. Move this out of the way so I can see. Yeah. Okay. And we have to work out whether learners' needs are being met. So that's going back to the needs analysis at the start of the course. So work out what their needs are, wants are, interests are, what's the purpose, why they're doing the course. Are the materials making a positive contribution? Do the materials help give them confidence? Can you adapt it higher or lower to help them? The language level is not too hard, too easy, especially when you've got a low level. So you have some people low, some people high, but they all want to do English for medical reasons and there's only one course. That sort of thing. So independence and autonomy. So what would that mean, do you think? Can the students study? What is an autonomous style of studying? If you can study autonomously, it's the same as this word. Yeah.
Maybe when somebody explains you something, then you can try to show what you know.
Yeah, and you're self-motivated to learn it. Yep. So the materials you use, whether they help to promote this motivation levels of the students, so they can take control of what they're learning. So is it adaptable enough that you can change to make it suit what is relevant in the classroom? Autonomous, that just means to study independently, the same as that. So they want to study. So is the learner a decision maker? So do we give them a choice? So we can do a role play, A, B, or C. Which one would you like to do, for example? Yeah. Independent learning means there's extension exercises. So this textbook might just have the basic, go to this website for more information. And to encourage them to want to learn more, they should be able to predict what the topic will be about, a bit more so, not just not having any idea, need to know a little bit about. So whether it looks after all their various learning needs and level of involvement in the text. Whether it allows them enough time to think about. Whether they can evaluate their own learning. Do the materials provide explicit instructions so they can go off on their own? If there's a prac or something, they can understand it. They don't need the teacher there. And is there sufficient range of strategies provided? And do the materials or the textbook encourage learners to evaluate their strategies or learning activities? We have a feedback section at the end. When you finished a unit of work, how much did you learn? Did you enjoy it? Did you learn all of what you thought you might learn? So this sort of thing. So therefore we can come back again and reevaluate the course. So these are things we need to consider when we're making the materials for a course. It's very strange. People still trying to get in. Don't know why people can't get in. We've still got people trying to get in. I don't know how to help them get in. I don't know how. You guys just put on WhatsApp why you got in and others didn't. I'm putting it down to an internet issue. Not sure. A mystery to me. Yeah. So, and also the materials, we need to make sure that they inspire creativity and cooperation between the students. So do the materials exploit the learner's prior knowledge and experience and provide opportunities for further development? Do the materials allow sufficient opportunities to the students' inventiveness and encourage them to encourage each other to help each other? Do the materials provide additional challenging activities? Have opportunities been built into the materials for learners to contribute? And for cooperation, so do the materials offer opportunities for cooperative learning through pair work, group work? Are students encouraged to learn from and help one another? This one here. And do they encourage positive interdependence by giving individual specific role play activities? So need to look at all that sort of stuff when you are making your materials for a course, either using authentic or the textbook. What to consider when you're making your own unit, your own online learning unit. Well, probably too much information, but you guys can see all this sort of stuff. So if you're doing an online Moodle, making your own online class, you've got to be able to think about all this sort of stuff, whether it's planned in such a way it's easy to navigate, the links are all working, there's spaces, not too much text, not thick with too much information. So issues around online could be technical or technological or ideological. Technical meaning download time, technological meaning the nature of the medium, like the issue we have today, or ideological meaning power, authority, identity, access. Okay. Yeah, so hyper reading, hyper writing. Anyone know what hyper means in this situation? So if you're doing online learning using links and whatnot, anything that you have from the internet, that's the hyper. So hyper reading, yeah, this going into like we often skim it or we just pull out what we need. We don't read properly. Not like if we have a book, we read from start to bottom. But if you're doing hyper reading, you might just what we call peck at it. So you just read a bit and then read a little bit at the end in whatever order you please. So if you send a link and tell people to read that, they might just peck read at it or skim read at it. Things to consider. And how to design your own ESP coursebook. Oh, yes. All these things we need to think about. Okay. So authentic materials provide a deeper, if it's something it's engaging, you'd hope a deeper level of understanding. Okay, so looking at this here, so this is taken from a book called New Horizon. It's actually a Japanese book. So how can we adapt this to make it more enjoyable for the students? If you just say open to page 50, okay, read this one. This is my sister Becky. She lives in Australia. She likes Japan very much. She speaks Japanese well. You can see it's a Japanese book. It's got Japanese writing here. So I like Japan. Becky likes Japan. Yeah, so what can we do to adapt this to make it a bit more interesting for the students? If it's elementary level, present simple tense. Not really a good ESP example, but example of how to adapt things.
Yeah.
You could start off with a warm-up. Yeah. What could we do? Because it's all about like what she does every day. It's present tense. So you could ask students, what do you do when you get up in the morning? So I wake up at 6:30. I eat breakfast at 7:30. Anyone know TPR, a total physical response? You could act it out. Say, okay, so Becky, what's this one? So getting out of bed. What's this one? Eats breakfast. What's this one? Drinks coffee. So a teacher can act out the routines and the students have to guess it. It's elementary level. So total physical response. So just using textbook only. So you'd want to adapt it to make it more engaging for the students. And then you give them the script after. First of all, we do some acting out. You teach them the words, you know, like Simon Says game. So you say, all right, everyone, so stand up, sit down. But then you can do the actions for what Becky does in the morning. That's all present tense. There's an idea. Anyone else got any other ideas what we could do? Not just a textbook. Find some online learning resources as well. Get them to write about it at the end. But you could ask, what do you do? So I get up at 6, I eat breakfast at 7. Then you ask the third person, so she gets up. And they practice the S here. So Becky likes. Yeah. This is a pre-int. So that was elementary. This is pre. So once again, looking at how to adapt this to make it a bit more difficult. Well, this is once again about daily life. So what could we do to adapt this to make it more interesting for the students? Not just say, okay, open to this page, let's just think of questions to ask. Yeah. So would you add extra questions, make it a bit more relevant? No. Ask questions with hobbies people you already know in the class might like to do, not just the questions here.
There is a game that you put a paper in your forehead.
Yeah.
For example, you know, a livelihood, something like that, a work to do, and you have to ask the rest of the class, what is your livelihood? So you cannot see it. They put a paper to you, for example, let's say doctor, and you have to ask, for example, do I work in a pharmacy? And you start asking, and they have to answer you, and it's very good for using that kind of answers.
Yeah, so you could ask, so what kind of person am I? You do celebrity heads game, try and guess what person or what job you do. This is about holidays, so what you like to do. You can ask, has anyone been on a holiday? So this is still present tense. So which holidays do you go on regularly? So you'd ask. And then ask, so when you go on holiday, what kind of hotel do you stay in? So you just ask each other, like what you're saying, want students to get involved. So have students ask other students, pair work, and then they can relay onto another group what their partner told them and use the third person singular. So it's daily life, holiday plans. Let's see. This is about a listening activity. So this is the kitchen bedroom. So you could get them to draw a layout of their house and explain to their partner, this is my bedroom, this is the living room. And get them to explain how they get from your bedroom, the bedroom to the garage, that sort of thing. Have one person draw the picture, another person explain their bedroom. So things like that, we're adapting it. This is a bit about holidays, this is a bit about people's houses. Okay, so this one is level 3, which is upper. So this is the last one. So what can we do to adapt this one? This is a listening activity about dreams. So how would you start off this lesson? What kind of warm-up would you give? What would you ask students? The topic is dreams.
What did you dream last night?
Yeah, that's right. Did you have a dream last night? Do you ever remember your dreams? Do you ever stop and write them down? Because you could ask, do you forget your dreams? Nearly everyone does. You could have them for the whole week, write down their dreams, if they have any. When, why, how they dream. Maybe some people dream after they've had like lots of alcohol, or then they exercise more or less. So it's called schema raising activity. So you don't just throw them in and say, okay, page 26, open up. We get them interested by asking them, do you people dream? What do you dream about? Yeah. I've got one more, but we're not going to do that one. It's too much. This is about, so if you're teaching tourism, English for tourism, and you had this, and you want to adapt on this one, well, this is a listening exercise, how to put the answers here. But what could you do for a warm-up? You could maybe show them a boarding pass and ask them, an online boarding pass, ask what does this information show? Just to get them interested. These days we don't really have a boarding pass, do we? It's all online. But anyway, adapting. So we need to adapt our teaching materials authentic or in the book to meet the current understanding, the English level and the context that we're teaching in. So if we're teaching, I don't know, a ski resort and everyone wants to come to learn English for whatever reason, but there's a mountain nearby and we're going skiing, maybe include that. Sorry everyone, it's going on a little bit. I've put lots of slides in here. So this is an example of published ESP material. So, okay, another question for you, will or won't? If very limited specialist audience And when materials are needed for such situations, educational institutions will or won't need to develop their own materials. So it's very specialized. So you're doing, within tourism, there might be air hostess, flight cabin, English. So can you find a book easily on flight cabin English? Or do you think the institution will have to make their own material? Will or won't? Which do you think? Anyone? This is just because I'm trying to make it more interactional. So, as you go down the continuum, so if you're just doing English or tourism, yes, there's books on that. And if you did cabin crew English, can you find a book on that? I don't know if you can. So will institutions have to make their own material? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's yes. That's right.
Yes.
So like Donna, I realized, even TESOL teaching material are all from one of the college or institution, and they certify lots of colleges to teach TESOL, and one I think it's very good. We can have all the same teaching material, but one of the issue is that they even can certify some of the students at the age of 16 to get a TESOL certificate.
Yeah, 16. Well, you have to be 18. Only bit you have to finish VCE, HSC. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's 16. Not
VCE,
sure.
and yeah, I think that must be year 10 students, and they can be certified a TESOL certificate. Not certificate 4,
Well,
but
not
a
with
certificate.
Okay, not with Anibid anyway. Well, you have to show me proof of that,
Okay.
Peter. I don't believe.
Not develop their own, teaching material for the adolescent, for the, TESOL students at the age 16, right or wrong?
Well, at the age of 16, if you do a vet course, and that vet course is for hairdressers, for example, so you go to a TAFE college, you do hairdressing, maybe they might have English for hairdressers if the majority of the students don't speak English well enough. But at that age of 16, from year 10, you can do a vet course if you're really sure, usually year 11, year 12. Anyone who doesn't know about vet courses, vocational courses, so in Victoria you can do VCE, which is the same as HSC, they call that New South Wales, Queensland. But if you do a vet course that is where you use your hands, like cooking, hairdressing, yeah. So maybe there might be, if you did a vet course in hairdressing and nearly everyone can't speak English well, there could be English for specific purposes. I don't think there's a TESOL certificate they can give to 16-year-olds. I've not heard of that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh, you show me later, Peter.
16 years old student, a TESOL certificate, not certificate 4, but a special certificate. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is now talking about published ESP resources. Example of a published book. ESP, okay, if you're writing a book for ESP, these are things that you need to consider. Yeah, so acceptable linguistic knowledge, general teaching experience, familiarity and interest in teaching, ability to work with others, and a knowledge of that field. Okay, just need to move this, is in the way. So if you were the boss, so anyone know what this stands for? DOS? In a language school, we have a DOS. Anyone know what it means? No?
We'll find out.
Yes, Director of Studies. So Director of Studies is the boss. So if you're the boss and you're trying to think, do you use only published material? Do you use in-house material, or do you use both? So we've just talked about that. So basically, we recommend using both. So published material with supplementary material. So in-house is the authentic material, which we're talking about today. So DOS, if you go to a language school and you're asked to talk to the DOS is the boss. It's the Director of Studies. Or you could say the CEO. I think it's VET. sort of subjects, you know, teaching hospitality, we call it the CEO. But if it's English, if you got an English language school, we call the person in charge as the DOS, not the owner, the person, the manager.
Mm-hmm.
All right, more information. Other stuff that this is continuing. Materials used in a variety of ways are more likely to have a positive effect on teachers' performance. So if the teacher's included in making the syllabus, the teacher's more likely to have a positive attitude towards teaching it. Yeah. Okay. Now what's this? So rotating. So ESP material needs to be looked at, and this is from the DOS's point of view. Sorry, everyone's a bit deep, but so. Basically, the DOS will get the needs analysis done, what the students want, sort out the language contexts. Okay, you'll teach it, categorize it, work out the language skills, sub-skills, types of activities, page layout, prepare the materials, then pilot them, then do classroom obs, asking teachers their opinion, videotaping lessons, revise the materials, and periodically review the course. So if you made your own ESP material, you had a textbook on engineering, you are part of this university, you need to do this to make sure you always periodically check it. Is it still up to date? Modify it, do the next edition if need be. So whatever course you're teaching, you have to evaluate at the end. So ask students a question like this. Did you enjoy it? What activities? Any problems? What were they? Suggestions? Yep. So I was looking how much more. Okay, we're nearly finished. That's good. I'll say keep. Any questions so far? I've got about 4 more slides to go. No more? You want me to keep on going?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Will you send us this
Yeah.
slideshow?
I actually put it on WhatsApp before as well. So I made this last night. I thought I'm going to feel sorry for you guys. There's so much. I always do too much on my slides. So next is, do you need materials, language study or cultural awareness? So when you're teaching, what materials do you have? Do you have materials for language study or materials for cultural awareness, or both? Anyone got any opinion on that?
Both.
Yeah, both is correct, yes.
Oh,
Way to go. So they say yes. So materials for language awareness you need. You're teaching them the grammar. You teach them the syntax, the sentence structure, the lexis, the words, the semantics, the meanings. That's all language awareness. And you want them to have higher thinking and lower thinking as well. So Bloom and Carajol thought about the higher thinking is more evaluating, so looking at what you know and then giving your opinion, and lower thinking is just comprehending it. So you want them to be able to do that when you're analysing the language. And the materials also have to include some cultural aspect as well. Can you think of any example of a cultural authentic material you could introduce to a nursing class?
To a nursing class.
Yeah, so specifically for Western societies, how, well, maybe how to...
Maybe the difference between Eastern.
Yeah.
Maybe the difference between Eastern and Western way of teaching.
Yeah, you could say some people want the traditional medicines. They might want the rhinoceros horns. I don't know, the scrotum from a rhinoceros. Some Chinese people believe all these various traditional magical remedies work. Like in Africa, they don't want to take anti-flu shots, anti-Ebola shots sometimes because they think something bad might happen. So you can teach them that this might be the case and that we need to show the proof that such traditional medical remedies don't work. That would be a cultural one. So that sort of thing you've got to bring up. I guess how to command an audience if you're a nurse and you're in a room full of like Muslim men and they don't want to listen to you. And give you some hints on how you could approach that to have them listen. So anything that's cultural. So that also has to be brought into it. And then we've got this last slide, which is materials development and teacher training. So basically, cognition is understanding, and experience together makes the developing of the material. So if you've only got experience, then no real understanding of it, that's not going to work. You need to have both. Yeah. And this, once again, I'm going into too much detail, but this school, they've made all their own ESP materials. So you can check that out. I think I've got the website here. Yeah, this particular school. All right. And that's it. We're finished, everyone, because now we're doing next week's homework. That's next week's homework. So authentic materials just means going out there and finding it, and depends which ESP class you're teaching. And had to think of cultural ones and language developing ones and whether they're valid, and be able to adapt the material to make it suit your class. Yeah. So if you're doing business, maybe you'd go to the Business Council of Australia. If you're doing legal, you might go to those places I mentioned on this website, this on PowerPoint. Any questions about that? Because it's all self-explanatory. No? Because we're going to catch up again at 7:30 till 8:30 just to talk about this glossary of words, which I made a while ago, for homework. I'm still going through myself, looking at meanings, sort of TESOL words. And just to keep you busy, once again, homework is optional, but if you do, that's great. Because I thought we've got until the 7th of July. This assignment's not due for a long, long time. If you want to talk about the assignment, I've got it printed out here. Everyone's on TOS now, aren't they? I think so.
Yeah.
Everyone should be. Yeah, so this one, this is English for specific purposes. So it's Unit 14, that one here. But it's not due till July. And at the moment, it's still May. So that's why I'm giving you extra work to do.
So Donna, this is the homework, this medical choose.
Yeah, so you guys did the linguist one. Oh, the heterogeneous and homogeneous homework as well. A lot of you sent me. Basically, in a nutshell, we can say much better to have, well, if you understand the language and culture of one of that class, you could have homogeneous, but heterogeneous, what do you think? More inclusive, everyone? Bring in different life skills and experiences if you have a class filled with people of different levels. So the homework we had before about the heterogeneous, I've got that written down here somewhere. Here you go. Oh, there's that one here. Yeah. So when you have the homogeneous class, it's basically everyone the same level, same nationality, and the heterogeneous is all mixed up. That's actually really deep. I downloaded this on the internet, but there's too much information. Someone did a good job with the homework. I think someone here, I don't know which person it was, but heterogeneous groups, mixed ability. And the homogeneous are all the same ability. I don't know which person did this one, but I copy pasted this one. You can interpret it meaning the same race as well, like all speaking, all knowing the same culture. I like heterogeneous classes because you can get different people's input, and you can have those who know more help the ones who are a bit lower in level. Homogeneous is everyone's the same. So as long as you can keep up the confidence of the lower level people, maybe put them in their own group sometimes, so they don't always feel like, oh, I'm at the bottom, then heterogeneous grouping is fine. But homogeneous, well, that's if you have enough resources, there's enough teachers. So if you group them all like 5 people each class, it costs more. Like the DOS, the DOS, Director of Studies might not agree with such. Anyone got any comments about the homogeneous and heterogeneous classroom?
I found an article which was very interesting about that, because it talks about sometimes when you have an advanced class, for example, if you want to achieve really, really big goals, it's good to have totally heterogeneous classes. But also there is known that the homogeneous classes, for example, can achieve more easily the goals, because they are all in the same level and have the same, lack of culture. So it was really deep, actually.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. They talk about discipline, they talk about participation, even about harassment.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's easier teaching homogeneous because they're all the same level. They'd probably have less questions, but this one here, heterogeneous, encourages the higher ability students to help the lower ability. It depends how heterogeneous the class is. I think if you have a large upper int down to pre-int level, that's no good. But I think for different classes to have all different people of different ethnic background is a good thing. So I like the heterogeneous ability groups as opposed to homogeneous. Homogeneous you don't often have anyway. These days, everyone's different levels. And English language schools include all different people from different countries.
Most heterogeneous class.
Yeah.
We so many students, are coming from different countries. European, South American, Australian, Asian countries.
You could have a school, if the school's owned by Chinese or Indians, whatever, maybe the major cohort might be Indians or Chinese or whichever nationality, but usually they always try to mix it up a bit. So having homogeneous classes isn't usually something they strive for. Elementary, all the same, but we want it a bit mixed up. So we want to have people from different backgrounds as well in the one elementary class. So homogeneous class would be, for example, in Japan, if you had an English class for elementary students, like grade 6 primary school, that would be homogeneous. So they're all grade 6 students. So they'll be the same level English and they're all Japanese. So they wouldn't probably learn as much, in my opinion, if they're in that class as opposed to a heterogeneous ability group, because they'd have other people to talk to and get different views on different things. Yeah. So anyway, that was that homework. Thank you for those who did it. And today I just put it on my desktop. I took a picture of it. So yeah, this one here. So this is the next lot of homework because we're looking at the medical side of things. Since we've got till the 7th of May, not that one, no. My picture I just took somewhere or other on here. I'll go back into my PowerPoint and open it up again. The last page. Okay, go down to the last page. Last page is this one. So do you guys agree that you do these systems? Because there's 11 different systems within the body. So I thought if you could just find 20 words that might come up. So if you're teaching medical English, so Adina, Peter, you could just give us 20 words that might come up in the muscular system. And Suzanne's the nervous, Sarah. Well, Sarah's actually, she's a certificate person, but she's going to be joining in. So there's, I don't know, I'll let her choose. Elisa, Nacho, Daniela, Zoe. Anyone know the endocrine system?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hormones. You can say hormone or hormonal system. Lymphatic, immune, urinary, and excretory, and reproductive. So I'll put this on WhatsApp and you just have to make a glossary. Do you understand what I mean by glossary?
Yeah, like a vocabulary words.
Yeah, just make a list like what I did before for these words we're studying later on. So just list 20 words and put the definitions in easy English for homework for this week coming. So we'll do medical, then we'll do legal, then we'll do engineering, then we'll do computers. So just we're increasing our vocabulary. So if one day we have to teach ESP for medical reasons, we'll know a bit more. So is everyone okay with those systems that they've got there? Have I left anyone out? Adina, Suzanne, Sarah?
Me.
Yeah, me.
Aha, okay. So Stephanie, but Stephanie, no, you're not there. Stephanie. Well, let's see. What can we do for you, Stephanie? Double also not there.
Skin. I can do skin.
Yeah, skin. You could do like ICU. So Devil, how about intensive care English?
Sure.
It's like emergency department.
Mm-hmm.
The emergency department. I'm just putting on WhatsApp now. And Stephanie, for you, oh, well, you could do first aid one. First aid English. That would probably be a lot of detail, too much. Stephanie, any particular area of medical that you want to research for us? Find 20 words.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
Well, you could do anything on first aid then, but I'm sure there's a lot there though. So Davil's got ICU, Stephanie's got first aid. So I put it on WhatsApp so you guys can see it. Okay.
Thank you.
3 o'clock already. So what we might do is finish now and then start back again at 7:30 till 8:30. We've got our last 1 hour. We're going to go through these words. And today, like we did last week, we're doing our Zoom movie session from 5:30. And that's going to be watching the pandemic movie on Zoom through my Zoom. So I'll send you a link. I'll try the certificate link maybe because I'm going to be sending it to the certificate people. So I'll send on the certificate WhatsApp and on the diploma WhatsApp the certificate link to Zoom, and then you guys can watch a movie with us at 5:30. Yeah. Okay. And then we catch up later on 7:30 to 8:30.
Donna, did you say that you'd?
Yeah.
Did you say that you'd send the slides on to the WhatsApp group?
Yeah, this PowerPoint, I think I sent it last night. So I'll resend it, but before I went to sleep, I put it up there.
Yeah.
Can you please send it via Gmail?
Oh,
Via
okay.
mail?
Yeah, okay.
Because it's easier than it's not on my phone, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It'd be nice, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And
I'll do
at
that.
7:30, at 7:30 again here, the same meeting, the same number, everything the same.
Yeah, it is. It'll be the same. Yep. So the same password,
Okay.
597716.
Yeah, but I think it's the people that didn't register before, they cannot register again, and so they cannot enter this link. It's tricky.
Yeah, I don't understand. Normally people just logged in. Today's been the first time there's been some trouble. Okay, well, anyway, just looking where I put the PowerPoint. Did anyone see the PowerPoint presentation? Maybe I didn't put it. Maybe I'll put it on the certificate one. But anyway, this that we've just gone through, I'll put it up there now with this recording too. And I'll just do a little recap as well after I hang up from you. So anyone, any questions?